Greetings, my fellow Fright Fiends. It's your buddy Boogeyman Ben here for a new episode of Boogeyman Ben's Horror Zone. And today's video is one that I've been wanting to do for a while. I wanted to wait until the fourth film in this series was released. I decided to change it up. Instead of doing a retrospective, I decided to do it as a ranking video, ranking the four films in this franchise. Of course, I'm talking about Hatchet. That is Adam Green, the slasher franchise, starring Kane Hodder as the legendary Victor Crowley. Last year marked the 10th anniversary of the original Hatchet being released, and of course a surprise to all is that Adam Green was secretly making the fourth film in the franchise, Victor Crowley, as inspiration from George A. Romero, the late great George A. Romero, and he was doing that for 2 years. And of course it was released on Blu-ray on the 6th of February, and I did get my copy of it. I talked about it when I did a showcase of new movies that I had picked up. Watched it the day I got it, and I'm really excited to talk about it because I haven't given a review of it. I will be doing that in this segment, which is a little different from some of the other ones that I've done. But I have to say right off the bat, I don't dislike any of them. I like all four of them. So it was really a little like a Friday the 13th ranking video that I did, where it was hard to sort of say which one was my least favorite and which one was my favorite, because I enjoy all four of them. So let's start off. So out of the four films, number 4 on my list is going to be Hatchet III. Now again, I love this film. I actually really enjoyed this film. I really like where the story went, and this is originally supposed to be the cap off to the series. All 3 of the first Hatchet films were like one story. Of course, this is the one film in the franchise that Adam Green did not direct. B.J. McDonald directed this film. I think he did a great job directing. I also think Victor Crowley looks fantastic in this, of course played by the amazing Kane Hodder. He is such a savage in this film. You have lots of great horror icons cast in this film, like Zach Galligan, who was in Gremlins. You have Carolyn Williams, who played Stretch in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Of course, the amazing Derek Mears showing up, which is probably my favorite scene in the film. Like I said, I don't have any negatives about this film at all, though. I really had a fun time with this film. And if this was going to be the cap-off to the franchise, I think they did a great job on it. Also, I can't say enough great things about Danielle Harris. She was kind of not in the film as much because she's arrested early in the film when she shows up at the police station with the scalp of Victor Crowley. She's pretty much blamed for the Honey Island Swamp murders that take place in the first 2 films. So most of her screen time is, she's in jail, and she doesn't really get into the action until like the last 20 minutes of the film. But that being said, it's still a great film. Even though it's my least favorite of the franchise, it's still a fantastic watch for me, and I would give Hatchet 3 3.5 skulls. Number 3 on my list, we'll go to Hatchet II. And this film is a lot of fun. And again, some amazing horror movie legends are in this film. So this is the first time that Danielle Harris would play Mary Beth Dunstan, taking over from Tamara Feldman from the first film, and she's fantastic in the movie. I've always been a huge fan of Danielle. Also, you have the amazing Tony Todd as Reverend Zombie. And you also have R.A. Mihailoff, who played Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. You have the amazing, the legend Tom Holland, director of Fright Night and Child's Play, and the writer of Psycho 2 in this film. And of course, you can't say enough fantastic things about Kane Hodder, who would be coming back as Victor Crowley. This film is brutal. There are some amazing kills in this film. The kill that always stands out to me is the kill where Victor Crowley gets the 2 guys with the gigantic chainsaw and saws them up the middle and holds them up in the air. That scene is brutal and just insane. This film is a terrific follow-up to the original Hatchet. It just has it carries on characters that were introduced briefly in the first film and fleshes them out even more. I think Adam Green did a great job of directing this. I just thought it was a fantastic follow-up to the original Hatchet. And if I had to give this one a rating on my normal scale, I would give Hatchet II 4 skulls. Okay, number 2 on my list is Victor Crowley. When this film was originally released, I was so happy that so many people kept all of the secrets about the film safe. You know, there's a lot of callbacks to the original Hatchet films. There's even a surprise after the credits. None of that was spoiled, so I went into this not knowing anything. I did watch the trailer, but I only watched it once. I really just wanted to immerse myself in this film. And I've heard some people say some shitty things about this film, and it kind of pisses me off because, you know, a lot of people are like, did we really need another Hatchet film? Why is, you know, so much of it taking place in one location? And I don't think people understand that these films are shot on very, very cheap budgets. Plus, you know, Victor Crowley has a huge following. I think he's delivered a fantastic film. And some of the criticisms that I've read or heard from other horror fans about this film, I think is kind of crappy. He did this for the fans. He did this to, you know, bring a character back that people had wanted, and then for people to turn around and then kind of bash it kind of pisses me off. But again, you know, that's just my opinion. I watched this film and I fucking had a blast with it. I just really had fun with it, and I liked that it was different. A lot of people were saying, you know, it's not in the swamp enough, that, you know, because the whole thing deals with the character of Andrew, who's Perry Shen, returning. He played a character in all 4 films, but this is the first time he's playing the same character. So in Hatchet 3 he played Andrew, and this is 10 years later after the Honey Island Swamp murders, and he's on this book tour talking about how he survived the Victor Crowley murders, and so many people are suspecting that he's actually the murderer. So you have that going on. You also have the amazing Felissa Rose playing his agent. I absolutely fucking love her. She's one of the nicest people I've ever met, and she was fantastic in it. You also have Laura Ortiz, David Sheridan, Brian Quinn, Tiffany Shepis. And then, of course, Kane Hodder coming back as Victor Crowley. And I really liked this film. I thought there was some really darker subject matter that happened in this film, and I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but there is one scene in it that really kind of shocked me when one character passes away, and it was one where I was like, wow, I can't believe that this is actually, it's going to play out like this. Also, I thought that the way that Victor Crowley was shot, they almost made him scarier in this film. I thought that there was a lot of great shots in this where he was kind of taunting his victims. Because most of the victims are trapped in this downed airplane that crashes into the swamp. And and that's where people were saying, you know, it's too much in one location, but I kind of liked it because it was different. We've been all over the swamp in the last 3 films, and this one I thought was really cool that it was in this kind of confined location and Crowley is taunting them from outside of it. I thought that was really well done. Also, Kane was just fantastic in it. I love the practical effects. There's one kill in this that is easily my second favorite kill in the entire franchise. It just blew me away. I couldn't believe they went there. I love this film. I am grateful to Adam Green for the work that he does. And fans should embrace stuff like this because we get so much crap that's thrown at us that we don't want. I was really looking forward to another Victor Crowley film, and I think this film succeeds in so many levels. It is fantastic. Easily, Victor Crowley gets 4.5 skulls. And of course, if you haven't guessed by now, my number 1 is the original Hatchet. Victor Crowley was really close, but the first Hatchet is still my favorite. I don't know what it is about this film. I've watched this film many times. I really love the dynamic between Ben, played by Joel David Moore, and Marcus, played by Dion Richmond. I love their dialogue. They really, really just convey that sense of their buddies, and you just really get that vibe watching this film. They are fantastic. And it's such down on his luck, and Marcus is always trying to bring his spirits up, and then they go on this haunted swamp tour. Joshua Leonard, the great Robert Englund, Tony Todd, you have Richard Reilly, Joel Murray. There's so many fantastic icons in this film, and I just love the brutality of this film. I mean, there are some terrific kills. Of course, the one that everybody remembers is this one right here. Which is my favorite in the franchise. I fucking love it. And I think that's everybody's favorite. But yeah, and then Kane Hodder is just so fantastic as Victor Crowley. I was so happy for Kane Hodder for getting this role. Adam created Victor Crowley, and that Kane is playing Victor Crowley after how horribly Kane was treated when it came to Freddy vs. Jason, and how he was sort of removed from playing Jason after being that character in 4 films, and also, you know, keeping that character alive when the franchise was kind of in its dormant stage. I really hated the way he was treated, and I'm so grateful to Adam Green for doing this for Kane, because Kane is fantastic. I cannot say enough great things about him, and I love him as Victor. Just a terrific performance, and fantastic, brutal callback to 80s horror that I grew up with. Cannot say enough great things about Hatchet. I fucking love this film. Amazing. If you guys haven't seen it, I definitely recommend people checking out the Hatchet and the entire franchise. They're all fantastic films. And if you grew up, you were a little kid in the 80s like I was, this just is perfect. And, you know, Adam Green and I are around the same age, so, you know, we have the same kind of tastes, and I love this kind of horror where it's just completely insanely unrealistic and fun. The Hatchet franchise has been one of my favorite horror franchises, and I'm so grateful that Adam Green made this franchise, and I hope we get another Victor Crowley movie very soon. So the original Hatchet for me is going to get 5 skulls. I'm curious if anybody else has seen all of these films. Please let me know down below which one is your favorite. I'm always curious to see if people's opinions differ from mine. It really keeps it a lot of fun and light here on the channel. Again, you know, don't be mean if I happen to like a film that you particularly don't, or if you disagree with my breakdown. That you have every right to, but this is my channel, this is my opinion. And like I said, you know, let's keep it fun, let's keep it light. Share with me your thoughts on this franchise. I'm curious to hear what everyone else has to say. And again, thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for some real cool content coming real soon. Take it easy, stay scared as always. Peace.